Hello my tarot junkies, thank you for tuning in to my channel. My name is Mizzweets, and in this video we're going to be doing a first impressions and unboxing review of the Modern Witch Tarot. If you guys are interested in this, then keep on watching. Okay, so the purpose of doing this video is because I want to get a different, like an honest first impression of what I feel when I look at the cards, okay? That's the purpose of having multiple decks for a tarot reader, right? We all know that. So this is not a new deck. For a lot of people have already seen this everywhere on YouTube. But if you want to get, if you're interested in watching this video for the purpose of finding out what I sense when I look at the cards, that's what this video is for. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a little close-up. I'm going to take my face out of the camera and we're going to try to see what do I feel from the cards. If I don't see anything, then I'm probably not going to say anything because it means the same thing that the card traditionally means anyway. But hopefully we'll find a few jewels within here that can add a twist to the traditional meaning of the card. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're here at our unboxing, Modern Witch Tarot. As you can see, this is the packaging of the box. To me, it's not very non-traditional, which I like that. I think I'm going to actually keep this box. I like the way it slides off very easily, easy to open. So it slides off and you see the Modern Witch, the MW. Inside of the box, we have the pentacles, the coins, the pentacles, the swords, and the cups. And we got some crystals and some keys in there as well. So I really like that. That's pretty cool. Set that here. Alright, so let's turn this upside down. Alright, so same thing with the box here. I do like that very much. Alright, set it back here. The booklet is very unique. It's very small, but it's not cheap. You know, cheap as in like just like white piece of paper, flimsy, something you could throw away. I don't think they intended for you to be able to throw anything from this away. They didn't want you to be able to feel like you should throw anything away. Alright, so it says, you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. I like that. That's pretty awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the review of the deck, which is basically what we were here for anyway. So, like I said, this deck is not new. It's not meant to be like a true, you know, flip through for people who think they might be interested in the deck. This is just my interpretation of what each card means and the twist that they have imprinted on the cards to give a different meaning and feel for that particular card. So we have the Fool here. I like this card because it's very modern, just like the title says, the Modern Witch Tarot deck. So the Fool, she's walking with her dog. She's got her iPod in. She's dressed very flamboyant, like she's looking for the attention that she deserves. She's looking for the adventure. She's setting out on a journey to attract a lot of abundance to herself. It's like she's really trying to set a good impression. The Magician, I really like this, but it's very typical. I do like the fact that, of course, she has color on her. That's one of the reasons why I was drawn to the deck in the first place. Okay, then we have the High Priestess. I like this High Priestess. I like the fact that she's got on heels. And the thing is, instead of having the Torah, which were the scrolls, she has her laptop. So this could mean, to me, I feel like this can mean understanding and gaining knowledge, not only through reading, but through, you know, all the resources that you possibly have, not just your intuition. You could be using the internet to come across information, you know, things like that. I feel like that's what this card is trying to convey to me. Oh, this Empress is everything to me. I like the fact that she is very comfortable, and not only that, I mean, there are some jagged crystals around her, but the way I interpret it is that I'm a comfortable person, but if you get on my bad side, you might sit on one of these sharp crystals. That's what I'm interpreting from her. So the Empress is all about being comfortable in your own skin, as well as making other people comfortable as well. But I could imagine that if this Empress was ever taken out of context, not you can see that not everything in this picture is soft and plush. We do have some jaggedness to us, like like how roses have thorns. Okay, so we have the Emperor here. I like the fact that she's a female. Actually, I've been told that there aren't any males in this deck, which doesn't really bother me any, because I have a lot of other decks that depict masculine energy or male energy. This is just masculine energy, which is basically saying giving life to that masculine side, because she is holding the Ankh, which is traditional for the Emperor, and the red as well still conveys the energy of power and passion, or all the fire signs out there, especially the Aries. So okay, all right, and then we have the Hierophant. So I feel like the Hierophant is in this deck, you see that she has tattoos on her. I feel like they're trying to say, because she has tattoos, it's like, you young kids, she's already been there. She's had that want to be hip type of feeling, but at the same time she's gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and with the two fingers there, it's like she's ready to re-give and like teach what she's learned. Okay, because the Hierophant is usually a teacher. The Lover's card. Okay, I really don't see very many things different about this Lover's card. I do like the fact that it has two people of different races that are trying to make a connection here. Other than that, I really don't get any other message. Look at that Chariot card. Okay, so I like this Chariot card, and I like the fact that how she's holding the wand. I like that where the moons are on her jacket is really cool. I like the fact that she's in a motorcycle, and behind her is the skyline. Okay, so it's like almost as if the Fool was setting out to leave. The Chariot in this depiction is like, what's that saying? You can take the girl out of the city, but you can't take the city out of the girl. That's kind of like what I'm getting from this. So whatever she's learned, things, traits that she's gained while being in the city, she's taking it with her to her next journey. All right. Then we have the Strength card. I think I really don't get anything different from this Strength card. I really like it. It's pretty. It's beautiful. I like the fact that the lion is not really intimidated, and is really, usually the lion usually has his mouth open, but it's almost like an effortless control here. We see like willingness to be controlled, or not necessarily dominated, but just gaining control of the situation effortlessly. Okay, so the Hermit. This Hermit is nice as well. For me, it sort of represents the fact that she's choosing to cut off social media, because there's a laptop and she's closing it down. So maybe she's cutting off social media. Sometimes this card could be saying, hey, we might need a break every now and then from, the rest of the world, even if you're not physically in everyone's, space or whatever. But sometimes we need a break from just social media in terms of this Hermit card. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. I really don't see too much else different from this. I like it. It's very traditional, not very many changes made in it. Okay, so this Justice card is pretty nice too. I always notice that the Justice card on most tarot decks, the person is dressed very flamboyant. But you can see this person is dressed kind of casual, like, I don't know, like just shabby chic casual, I guess. Is that what that's called? I'm not sure. But the fact that they're judging not based off of how well someone looks. They're judging, you could tell that this is a person that judges not based off what's in style. So whether or not their judgment and their decision is made, it's made from a place of truth. That's basically what that says to me. You don't see a person that's dressed all flashy, because sometimes we get kind of confused when we see a person, they're dressed a certain way, and you be like, oh goodness, I bet you that they think that because I'm dressed different, they might have a different opinion about me. But this person is dressed casual, they're not flashy at all. It makes me want to trust their judgment. That's basically what this card tells me. All right, the Hanged One. So it's not the Hanged Man, it's the Hanged One, which is fine by me. I don't really see too much of anything that's really different, except for this tree is shaped pretty odd because it's I've never seen a tree shaped like that. But I think the hangman can also mean perspective, and the way these branches are going left to right, it's like choosing which direction to branch off in as far as your perspective, until everything is safe to unhang yourself from, until everything is safe to pick and choose your route that you're going to go. It's like following the branches and seeing what leaves form on each side of the branches, determining your outcome. All right. So, and then we have the death card here. I like the death card because I'm a Scorpio, of course, and this is my card. This death card is pretty interesting. I like the fact that it's a businessman on the ground. And also, I really can't tell if these people are all related, but something about them makes me feel like they represent the child, like the maiden, the mother, and then the crone. For some reason, that's just what I'm getting. And I feel like the maiden, the mother, and crone are all different stages of life that we go through. And death is a part of all three of those stages, especially the crone stage. But I feel like change is always implemented throughout different various stages in life that we go through, basically. All right, temperance card, pretty good. Not very much difference here that I don't notice too much. 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot in the water. It's pretty traditional. Devil card, I like the devil card. It's not anything new that we haven't seen. I can pretty much get the message of basically being you know, entrapped to a certain routine or certain pleasures that may not be good for your spirit, but, you know, feel good to your body, especially with the nudity here. So it's like you're trapped to the what is it, like the physical pleasure over the spiritual pleasures. Oh, wow, that tower card is everything. I like the way she's stuck on a, I like the way that she's stuck on a sharp jagged rock, and that looks like death to me. So that's pretty tragic. So I think that this is a unique tower card because usually the tower represents hope at the end, but because one of these people is like dead on a rock it's kind of significant to me. It changes the meaning completely. You know, it almost makes it to where, you know, will there be a recovery? The star card, I like the fact that she has hair on her. It's very very honest. I'll say that it's very honest. But other than that, you know, it's very traditional, but it's very natural, very honest and natural. Okay, so the moon card. Ooh, I like this moon card. Instead of having the crawdad or the cancer coming out, we have a dark being, and that could represent just a part of you that's lurking beneath the surface that could be make you afraid to dive deeper into what it is that's unknown. So that's definitely changing the meaning of the moon card for me. You know, either you can take this long route into the dark cave. Either way you go, going back from where you came, the path is always unknown, and there you only can rely on the instincts of the moon energy, that lunar energy. There's just the instincts that provided by the moon. So to light your path. Then we got the sun card, which is pretty traditional. We have the red and the child with the horse. No change here. It's pretty happy. All right, and I like the fact that we have someone who's plus size in this judgment card. To me, this all automatically represents like, now I know that Six of Wands is being praised, but I feel like this judgment card, the angel is almost clapping. Instead of like calling someone, she's clapping. So this is like saying, you guys are getting back up. You're being, you're given a second chance, and congratulations on taking that second chance. That's how I read this judgment card. And see, I like reading different cards with, you know, different interpretation because it adds just a little bit more to your readings. Okay, we have the World card. I really like this, but there's really no change in it. Ace of Wands is nice. I like the fact that she's got her nails did. Okay, so the Two of Wands. Instead of having the globe, that's really nice to have the cell phone as a way to connect with the rest of the world, as a way to broaden your horizons, not only physically, but just using what you have in front of you to take you places that you otherwise would be very difficult to go to. So, and then the Three of Wands, we still have the ships. I like it. It's nice. Four of Wands. Okay. It's nice. Ha! It's interesting that they're wearing masks, because I could have sworn that this deck came out before the pandemic. But because they have on masks, it's like, well, you know, maybe the fact that we're in this pandemic right now, there's a lot of commotion going on, especially with, you know, Black Lives Matter and the fact that the coronavirus has kind of divided us, because we can't really be social in the physical sense of touch and hugging and being around each other. You know, lots of things happen. I've heard stories about people being in the store and then, you know, cussing someone out for being, you know, closer than 6 feet, even though both of you have on a mask. But it's just tensions rise. It's just an awkward feeling, and that Five of Wands really puts me in that mode, in that feeling, especially with those masks on. Six of Wands, really nice. I feel like I really don't get anything different from it. I like the fact that she's got on, she does have on red, but the fact that she has on a leopard print, it's like she's wearing the skin of her enemies almost. I know for some people who don't like animal prints or whatever, that might be like, oh my gosh, how could you say that? But it's like she's in victory, so she's like wearing the skin of her enemies, or wearing the skin of those who doubted her. It's like, I'm throwing it back in your face. That's the impression that I get from that card. Seven of Wands, pretty good. You know, I like the fact that she's on platforms, meaning that she's taking the higher stance and defending herself. Eight of Wands, I like that. They got a motorcycle there. And not only with the Eight of Wands, we have the clouds, meaning that even though things are happening fast, there's still room for, you know, the unknown, or for cloudy days. Even though we have progress, there's still room for cloudy days if you don't play your cards right. That's what that means to me. Nine of Wands, pretty traditional. I like it though. Ten of Wands, it's very strange how they're holding it in front of them versus on their back. But either way, you know, it still represents completion. So, Page of Wands, very young girl. I like the way they depicted her as young, and she actually looks like a young girl, because on the traditional Page of Wands, they really don't look young. They look, you know, they look older. So this really gives me that feeling of a young person. Knight of Wands, I like this. All right, so I like how they have the spikes right here. It kind of gives an extra edge. Like, it makes me feel like this person is ready to do anything, and they got their armor on, and anyone who touches them is just going to get ran over, because they got so much energy. They're going to outshine anything and anyone. All right, the Queen of Wands. Okay, so my grandmother has vitiligo, so I really appreciate the fact that they had a character in here who has vitiligo. I believe that's what that is, vitiligo. So that's really nice. All right, King of Wands. Very masculine energy here, even though it's in the feminine form. I like the way that these branches almost have like leaves that look like fire. So that's definitely something that I've noticed. The Ace of Cups, again, I really like that with the heart. The Two of Cups, coming together, partnerships, best friends. And the Lighthouse, it kind of represents, if you're lost, you know, you can find salvation in your partner as well. All right. Three of Cups, partying, modern partying. It's almost like they all have like different sense of style, but they all complement each other. That's what that means for me. Four of Cups, her shirt says over it. That's basically self-explanatory. Five of Cups, yeah, definitely the Three Cups and the Two Cups still remaining. I like this. I like the bridge in the background, letting you know that there's still another way back to where you came from. There's another way to go back, you know. Six of Cups, very nice. Instead of having two children, we have a woman who could possibly be handing gifts down to either her child or like her younger self. So, or just memories of herself as a younger child. Then we have the Seven of Cups. Most of these look pretty traditional in here. I don't really see the castle though, but they pretty much mean the same thing. They all look very tempting. Even the tornado. I really don't know what the purpose of the tornado is there for, but I can sense that the tornado may be like sometimes if we have decisions that we have to make, they may be chaotic. That's what the tornado may represent, something that's chaotic, but in the sense, it's a way to get power. So you can interpret the fist and the tornado as like a way to represent your power by showing, like with the riots that are going on right now. I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole, Black Lives Matter, but I feel like they go hand in hand. The fist and the tornado. I really like that. Eight of Cups. Not too much different. It's almost like walking away with a plan because she has her backpack. She's ready to walk away. Not walking away unexpected, but just you had plans on walking away and you're prepared to walk away. Okay. Nine of Cups. Very happy. I hope they're happy. They look like they're at a dance, so I think this is, definitely like wishes fulfilled. She looks very content. Ten of Cups. Two women and two female children in the house. Very self-explanatory. Page of Cups. Again, she looks young with the little space buns, and I see the little small fish. Okay. The Knight of Cups. All right. So you can see with the look on her face, she's very mellow and, really looks like she's in deep thought. Really looks like she's in deep thought there. All right. The Queen of Cups. I like this because it has like mermaid vibes on it, and her cup is very special too. It's not like all of the other cups. It portrays a certain emotional importance, not only to herself but those around her, and it shows that it shows a certain standard. All right, King of Cups. So I'm thinking that this is still a female, but still with the King of Cups, instead of there being, I don't know if that's a dolphin or a fish, but I like it. Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. Pretty traditional. Three of Swords. Wow, okay. Three of Swords. So instead of having the Three of Swords that is bleeding red blood, it's like it's bleeding all the toxins. And sometimes every heart has to purge. All right, Four of Wands. So usually I take this card as not only the card of rest and rejuvenation, but the card of prioritization, stacking everything in order, nice and neat, taking on one task at a time. So that's what that represents for me. Five of Swords, pretty traditional. Six of Swords, all right, pretty traditional except for there's no child involved. So this could be not necessarily running away from your childhood, but trying to reevaluate the situation within yourself, and it's not necessarily based on with the other child being there. That's not there in the traditional deck. It's not really rerouting from what you were taught as a child, but just rerouting as an adult entirely. So Seven of Swords. I really like the Seven of Swords. Even though I just like what she's got on, actually. I just think it's pretty interesting because it's not like, I always think this is like the shyster card. And usually the shyster is dressed in dark, discreet clothing, but the fact that she has on bright blue clothes and it's like she's almost trying to be noticed, like I'm doing it in spite of, like you see me dressed in this flamboyant outfit. I'm not necessarily trying to be sneaky. I'm doing it in front of your face, and that's me. Take it or leave it. That's the message that I get from that card. Eight of Swords, pretty much traditional. Wait a minute. It's interesting though that she's in a puddle of water. So it's like, I think her emotions are like under her feet right now because she's clouded in unfinished projects. That's what that looks like. I don't know if I've ever noticed water at the bottom of the feet on the Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords, pretty much traditional to me. Ten of Swords. Okay, so to me this card kind of, I know that she's got one in her neck, so it's like, Ten of Swords. Swords are usually about talking and communication. The fact that she's on her phone with the Ten of Swords, it's like, is she taking a selfie or is she just reading something that's really devastating to her? Is she finding out information that's out there in the world that's really devastating to her right now? And it almost leaves her speechless, because if you could see, this is going through her vocal cords, her voice box. So it's like she's almost left speechless, and she, at what she's seeing. All right. All right. So the Page of Swords, pretty young, youthful looking. I'm glad that we have the clouds in the background, meaning you don't know everything because you're still young. So this is very new. Even though this is about thought and speech, you still have some gray areas where not everything is going to be perfect. Knight of Swords, very fast movement. Those clouds look like the wind is blowing, or the movement is just really fast. I like that. Queen of Swords, very just. I really don't notice anything right now that's too different about this Queen of Swords right now, right off bat. I like her boots though. King of Swords, very nice. I'm noticing these butterflies. I don't remember seeing butterflies in traditional decks, especially for the swords. So I'm guessing like the King of Swords is a person that is usually speaks the truth and is very just in his judgments, but it's not like he's impossible to transform his mind, because the butterflies represent transformation. So I'm suspecting that because they're at the top of her head, it represents that, I can be persuaded, but with just reasoning, I can be persuaded. That's what this means to me. Ace of Pentacles, traditional. Two of Pentacles, she looks like she's concentrating. She doesn't really appear to be off balance, which is where in the traditional deck, Two of Coins is very goofy. But I like this. I like it. She's very concentrated. Even though she's kind of got one foot off balance a little bit, she has everything under control. Three of Pentacles. Wow, what a masterpiece she's drawing. So it's about you're getting constructive criticism at the same time, and you're making artwork. So whatever it is that you're doing, whatever path you're going on, you're learning as you go. People are watching you. They're giving you information, and you're using it to paint the picture of your life story. That's what I got from this card automatically. Four of Pentacles. I like the fact that like Pentacles to me represent long time coming, or like something over a long period of time. Then we have Four of Pentacles. Four is like stability. She's standing on two of her coins, and then she's holding one, and one is on top of her head. But she's got this big old bubble coat on. So to me, for some reason, it represents time. It represents time, and within time, stability will come. In the meantime, put your coat on, because it's going to get cold. I know that sounds silly, but in some readings, like, it means be prepared, save up, because this could be something that right now it's summertime right now, but winter is coming soon. Change is coming soon. Save up, get your stability together. That's what that card means to me. Because guess what? The change then came. Five represents change. And now it's cold outside. So hopefully after you've stacked up all of your savings and things that were very important to you, you're prepared for this change. So now the Six of Pentacles. So that's definitely about giving back, giving gifts to others who are in need, or either receiving gifts when you're in need. So I mean, it's decent. I don't see a scale anywhere, but I think the scale is in her heart, because you can see the smile. So usually there's like a scale and then someone giving some money, or there's like the scales of justice in here. But in a sense, the scales are in her heart, and you can see that they're, within her hands, one being higher than the other. Seven of Pentacles. I don't think she's pleased with the outcome, with the fruit that's been bared on these plants. Well, I know it's not fruit, but you know what I mean. I think she's not really satisfied with the outcome. I wonder what's in there. What kind of water has she been giving it? Maybe that's what she's thinking about. What can I have done differently? Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Working pretty hard. Taking your time to get everything perfect. It's like perfection. So I like that. The fact that she's not necessarily using her hands to get things done, but she's using her mind. So it's like work smarter, not harder. That's what it's saying to me. Nine of Pentacles, she looks very content. She looks like she's saved up over her life and now she's harvesting her rewards. Ten of Pentacles, all right, the family, being together, traditions, learning hand-me-downs, earning your hand-me-downs. Yeah, so that's what I sense from that. I don't really sense anything too different because we do have the dog and then the crone woman, or, you know, the elderly who has their family with them. Page of Pentacles, very young. She's got her backpack on, so I think she took time to consider what all is she going to need for class today, what all is she going to need for life today. That's what it means to me. Knight of Pentacles, looks like a person who's ready to work hard because they're dressed for work. They're not dressed to go partying. They're not dressed like the fool. They're dressed to work. She's got her boots on. She's got her cowgirl boots on. She's got her hat on. She's ready to put in some hard work and dedication. Queen of Pentacles, very caregiving, nurturing. I like it. King of Pentacles, very masculine, Taurus energy. I like it. Everything is fine. This is the second Ten of Swords, which it's interpreted differently because it could be a lie, it could be a cover-up. Everything is fine. People take selfies smiling all the time while they're hurting down inside, but they can't speak out about it, like this sword is going through her vocal cords. So that's my interpretation of the cards. Okay, you guys, so that concludes my interpretation of the cards today for the Modern Witch Tarot deck. If you guys like this deck, you guys better go out and get it. I think you'll have some really interesting readings, and I think it's very easy to convey the messages and the meanings within cards to, like, modern society. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.